Introduction: Understanding Universal Law and Fear. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to explore a fascinating topic: how fear, specifically the fear of undesirable events, shapes and manifests our reality according to universal law. The universe operates on specific principles, and one of them is the law of attraction, which works based on the energy we emit into the universe. But what happens when we focus on the things we fear the most? Why do our worst fears sometimes come true? Today, I'll explain how fear operates on a deeper level and how it might actually bring about what we fear instead of what we hope for. We all have experienced fear in some form. Fear of losing a loved one, fear of losing our job, fear of becoming sick, or even fear of failure. But what if I told you that these fears may not only be reactions to potential outcomes, but actually be responsible for attracting those outcomes into our lives? In this video, we will dive deep into the mechanisms behind this. I'll explain the psychology and universal law behind how the very thing you fear most might actually become a self-fulfilling prophecy. The power of fear and the law of attraction. When you fear something intensely, whether it's a breakup, financial ruin, or illness, the emotion you generate becomes the focal point of your energy. Think about it for a moment. When you're constantly thinking about how badly you don't want something to happen, your mind is essentially focusing all its energy on that very thing. In the context of universal law, whatever you focus on consistently, whether positive or negative, is what you attract into your life. This is often referred to as the law of attraction, which suggests that like attracts like. The stronger the emotion, the stronger the attraction. In this way, fear serves as a powerful signal to the universe about what you are focusing on and what you are energetically aligning with. But here's the paradox. While we think we're protecting ourselves from these events by worrying, we are actually inviting them into our lives. This is because our fear generates vibrations that match the very experiences we're trying to avoid. Why fear of loss amplifies it? Let's look at a common example: the fear of a relationship ending. Many of us have had the fear of being abandoned or losing someone important. This fear often arises from insecurities or past experiences, and the more we dwell on it, the more anxious we become. Our minds race with what-ifs, and we start creating scenarios where the relationship falls apart. Now, here's the kicker. As you continue to focus on the fear of being abandoned, you inadvertently create a situation where abandonment becomes a possibility. This could be through unconscious actions, like pushing the other person away due to your anxiety, or through an energy shift that creates an imbalance in the relationship. Essentially, the fear of loss itself begins to create the conditions for loss to occur. What's happening here is that by focusing on what you don't want, being left, you are attracting that very scenario. The universal law responds to the vibrations you're sending out, and if they are rooted in fear, that's what the universe aligns with. This is why many people find themselves experiencing what they feared the most: their relationship ending, their partner distancing themselves, or their worst-case scenario becoming a reality. The law of paradox: acceptance of fear to overcome it. Now, you might be wondering, how can we stop this from happening? The key lies in accepting the very thing we fear. This might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. The truth is that fear stems from the resistance to change, the resistance to experiencing something that we think will be too painful to handle. Whether it's a breakup, a financial setback, or a health issue, we fear the change because we believe it will destroy us or make us weak. But here's the thing. By resisting that fear, we create more tension and anxiety. However, when we accept the fear, when we say to ourselves, "I accept that this might happen and I am okay with it," we release the tension that has been built up in our bodies and minds. This is not about passivity or resignation. It's about acknowledging that life has cycles, and not all of them are comfortable. By accepting the possibility of what we fear, we break the cycle of resistance. Our minds stop obsessing over the worst-case scenarios and begin to relax, allowing the universal law to work in our favor. Acceptance removes the grip of fear, reducing its power over us, and instead opens us up to the natural flow of life. The hidden power of releasing control. In the same way that we create a reality rooted in fear, we also create a reality rooted in our need to control the outcome. Think about it. How many times have we tried to control every detail of a situation to avoid the feared outcome? Whether it's obsessing over our health or micromanaging a relationship, the attempt to control often exacerbates our stress and anxiety. What happens when we try to control something is that we are once again resisting the natural flow of life. The universe operates on its own timing, and sometimes the very thing we fear might happen is exactly what needs to happen for our growth and evolution. When we release the need to control, we open up to the possibility that the universe knows better and will guide us to what we need. By relinquishing control, we give space for solutions, opportunities, and growth to emerge naturally. This shift in mindset takes us from a state of fear and anxiety to one of peace and acceptance. Overcoming fear, transforming negative energy into growth. The process of overcoming fear and using it to create a better life begins with a change in mindset. Instead of seeing fear as an enemy, we must learn to see it as an ally. Fear is simply energy, and energy can be transformed. The first step in this transformation is recognizing that fear is not something to run from, but something to face. By facing our fears, we disarm them. This doesn't mean forcing ourselves to dive headfirst into terrifying situations. It means acknowledging fear when it arises, understanding its message, and then deciding how to respond. Fear often signals areas of our lives that need attention. Perhaps there is a belief system that needs to be examined or a pattern that needs to be broken. By embracing fear, we can see what it is trying to teach us about ourselves and the universe. This is how growth happens, through the willingness to face discomfort and trust in the process of transformation. Practical ways to shift from fear to flow. So, how can you start shifting from fear to flow today? How can you align your thoughts and emotions with what you truly want, instead of attracting what you fear? Practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness allows you to observe your thoughts without attachment. Meditation helps you center your mind, releasing anxiety and allowing you to be present in the moment. Shift your focus. Instead of focusing on the worst-case scenario, focus on the best-case scenario. Imagine the outcomes you desire and cultivate positive feelings around those thoughts. Embrace change. Life is constantly evolving, and change is an inevitable part of it. By embracing change instead of resisting it, you open yourself up to new possibilities and growth. Release control. Let go of the need to control every outcome. Trust that the universe will bring you what you need when the time is right. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for shifting your energy. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you raise your vibration and align with positive outcomes. Conclusion. Living in harmony with universal law. In conclusion, the things we fear the most are often reflections of the very things we are trying to avoid. Universal law works in mysterious ways, but by understanding the mechanisms of fear and how it interacts with our reality, we can learn to transform that fear into power. The key is to shift our mindset from one of resistance to one of acceptance and flow. When we do this, we stop attracting fear-based outcomes and begin attracting what we truly want: peace, abundance, love, and joy. Remember, the universe is always responding to the energy you emit. If you focus on fear, you will attract more fear. But if you focus on peace, acceptance, and growth, you will attract more of those things into your life. The choice is yours. Thank you for watching. and I'll see you in the next video.